Hey guys, welcome back to Scuderia Car Parts. Today we're going to do something a little bit different and we're going to talk about drives that you've got to try this autumn. So obviously most people, when the leaves start falling, that's time to put your car away and wait for the sun to come back out. But the truth is that there are roads throughout the UK which are just amazing to drive regardless of what time of year it is. And if you look after your car properly with the correct care and maintenance, then you can literally drive it every day of the year. So we'll kick things off with the Giant's Causeway in Northern Ireland. It's a 200-mile road that goes from Belfast to Londonderry, and it's just overflowing with amazing things to do and sights to take in. There's a mix of everything from kind of ruined castles to whiskey distilleries and sandy beaches. It's just a really beautiful, beautiful place to go and see. And there's also a load of kind of UNESCO World Heritage sites that you can go and visit. So it's well worth it by all measures. And it's somewhere that a lot of people actually do know about and have done. So Cannonball have gone and done a run there. Also, for the fans of Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, yeah. Game of Thrones, yeah. Game of Thrones from the Game of Thrones.
It was, what was it? The Dark Hedges is what it was called in Game of Thrones. There's a really cool kind of bit of trees that kind of overhangs the road, and that was used in a Game of Thrones scene. It's just a beautiful, kind of almost dark and enchanting way to see the Irish countryside, and we really, really, really highly recommend it. For our second stop, we're going to be talking about the Great West Way, which is Bristol to London, and this is a road that I've had a lot of fun on at 70 miles an hour.
That's an all-in-four. Feel the speed! The speed!
The route of the Great West Way was actually proposed by King Charles I in the 17th century. It was one of the kind of 6 major roads that he proposed, and it's a 500-mile kind of road that navigates from, as I said, London to Bristol. It goes through Bath, Castle Combe, past Stonehenge, and even Windsor Castle at the other end. So there's a lot of really cool, quaint villages to go and see, and really lovely things to go and do. I think Cheddar Gorge isn't too far, and there's kind of Wookey Holes for those who want to go and do some stuff in Somerset. It's really idyllic countryside. It's a beautiful way to see the kind of southwest to southeast. As I mentioned, Stonehenge, going past there at sunset is really, really magical. So this is one that you definitely have to do, and it's a really, really great one. Now this is one that we absolutely do not take credit for, and it's one that most people will probably have heard of, and it's the Evo Triangle. Now this was so named because this is where Evo magazine went and tested a load of their cars for years and years and years, and it is one of the best driving roads in the UK. Kind of forming the triangle is the A5 West, the A543 Northeast, and then the B4501. So that obviously rolls off the tongue, and you're going to remember that.
What?
But yeah, just Google Evo Triangle, and you'll find out where it is, and it's amazing, amazing driving. Even with speed cameras and such, it's just a stunning way to go and see the Welsh countryside, and you can just take it easy and go through for a little cruise. It kind of takes you not too far from Snowdonia National Park, which is obviously one of the most beautiful places in the UK. Amazing roads, pubs, villages, things to do, places to go, things to see, and yeah, it's just a wicked, wicked place. And the kind of northwest section of it is not far from the tallest mountain in Wales, interestingly enough. So yeah, if it was good enough for Evo to test their cars for 20 odd years or however long they did it for, it's going to be good enough for you to go and have a hoon with your mates. So get down there and go for a blast. Next is the North Coast 500. And that's like our Route 66, and this is just the driving road to go and do in the UK. I'm sure at some point every single petrol head in the UK will go and see at least a part of it, but it really is the kind of nirvana for driving in the UK, and it's world famous for being so. It's a 516-mile route around the north coast of Scotland, starting and ending at Inverness Castle, of all places. Usually, like, if you really had the hammer down, you could probably do it in 5 days, but if you wanted to stop and have a nice pub lunch or whatever.
What exactly did you have in mind?
I don't know. Pub?
We'd probably recommend like 7 to 10 days. And it's just a beautiful part of the world. I spend a lot of time in Scotland, and it's just never ceases to amaze me how stunning it really, really is. And I think Scotland is regularly voted as one of the most beautiful places in the world, and up alongside places like Iceland or the Grand Canyon. These are titans of beauty, and for us to have one of them in our backyard is pretty cool. So get down there, get going. There's a lot of features kind of in the Northern Highlands that you get to go and see. I'm going to try and say this now, and I guarantee you it's wrong. So Scott, please let me know. The Carlescu Bridge. Between Lochinver and Dunnes is really, really stunning. And then you kind of pass by fairy tale castles and wild, rugged coastlines. Yeah, the North Coast 500 is somewhere you have to go and see before you die. And certainly, I think, somewhere you should go and see before the year is out. In at number 5 is the Lake District National Park. So it's kind of 900 and odd square miles of just the most ridiculously beautiful landscapes you've ever seen. Loads of really good driving routes throughout there, and you know, there's the Keswick Loop, which goes through Buttermere and Barradale. There's the Coniston Loop, and you know, there's loads of just these hidden gems, right? Like, because it is so, I'm going to make up a word here, but altitudinous.
I said what I said. And I'm not changing on it.
There's so many changes in altitude that there are these really amazing kind of cavernous passes and things to go and do, and it's just stunning driving. You know, and it's just also just a really beautiful place to kind of just get lost and kind of be at peace with yourself. So yeah, hop in your car, go and have an absolute hoon, pull over and just be surrounded by some of the most beautiful scenery in the UK. Not a bad deal. And then just to finish off, we've got a couple of honourable mentions. The New Forest National Park has got the National Motor Museum in Bewley, which for our non-English watchers, I'm going to actually kind of get that up on the screen so you can see how that's spelled. It's ridiculous. It makes me laugh every time I see it. So yeah, in Bewley, you can go and see the National Motor Museum in the National Forest, so that's really cool. Sussex Coastal Road's really wicked as well. It's a 90-mile route from, it starts in Rye, the town's called Rye, and it's one of the prettiest in England. It goes along the coast via Hastings and Eastbourne and the White Cliffs of the Seven Sisters and Beachy Head. It's, you know, it's a whistle-stop tour of some of the best kind of coastal parts of Britain, and you get to see some really wicked stuff. Yeah, take care on the hairpin bends just west of Eastbourne, because they're pretty hairy if you've got your boot down. And that kind of marks the end of our recommendation for autumn drives. You know, by all means, get out there and do it. Just make sure you've got nice warm tyres, and if you are a two-wheeled friend of ours, just watch out for the leaves, because motorbike wheels and leaves do not mix very well. I learned that the hard way one day. And yeah, let us know where you think we've missed out, and if there's anywhere else you'd like us to mention on perhaps another video like this. But if you've enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to see more content like this, and as always, we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.